This is the 12 for 2K work kit. She went a 12.70 at 111 mile an hour last night, which is awesome. Drove it there and back, full weight, manual. Last weekend I took it up to Willowbank to a test and tune, got a 13.0, then drove it to Toowoomba Swap Meet and home. Camped up there for the weekend. So I'll just give you a little rundown of what's actually in it. So I've got a restoration shop in Beenleigh. It's pretty much fully equipped workshop. We've got a CNC plasma cutter, mill, lathe, all that jazz. So anything I could make, I did make. The turbo flange, turbo oil drain, all the J pipe and everything. That was all just a couple of bends and a bit of flat plate. So yeah, so I do have a list of what I've spent. It comes to about $17.91, I think it was. I'll just run through it now. So we'll start with the fuel reg. That was $60. The oil feed, as you can see there, that was 78. So the intercooler piping, hoses and clamps were 148, and the dodgiest clamps you've ever seen. I'm surprised they're still holding, but the turbocharger was supposed to be a max speedings rods. It actually wasn't. It was just a knockoff of a knockoff, I think, but it's got the small housing on it. Comes on like a light switch. I like it. Makes all the noises. It was 172. The intercooler, it's pretty small, probably a bit smaller than what I'd like, but it was $105, so that's why I went with that. All the steam pallet and plates, that was 67. I brought that from Handy Steel Stocks, just around the corner in Beenleigh. So the water fittings, there's actually a couple of dash fittings in there somewhere to barb, and there's a couple of brass fittings. That was 53. The injectors, 1000cc Bosch injectors, that was the most expensive thing. They were $516. Got them off Mark Marshall. I think Marshall's hoses and some fittings, good mate. The map sensor was 59. And shout out to TI Performance, because I did stuff the wiring up on that, and it was a second-hand J3 trip, so I never actually brought anything off them except for the map sensor, and they were nothing but helpful, pointed me in the right direction, and we got it solved and we got it on the dyno. The bolts for the turbo, they're just standard bolts from the nut and bolt shop. They're $11. The boost tee, and I've got a boost gauge. They're both Turbo Smart. That was $60 off Marketplace. Brand new, never used. So yeah, and that's pretty much the new stuff. So we've got a second-hand 50mm gate. I did have a 38mm gate, but I decided to go with a second-hand, just a knockoff bloody thing. Second-hand J3 chip. Oh, sorry, the wastegate, $100 I put on it. The J3 chip, second-hand, $150. I actually got one given to me. I just put a number on it. Then it actually failed on the dyno. It stopped talking wouldn't load the tune for some reason. And luckily, one of the guys had another one in the complex, and he was nice enough to give it to me. So I put $150 on that. Now I've got a Commodore that the fuel pump wire broke, and we thought it was the fuel pump, so we replaced the fuel pump in it. So I use that fuel pump for this. It's a Walbro 460 second hand. I put 50 bucks on it. We did put a short shifter in the gearbox, and we did pull the gearbox apart, and we put a counter support shaft. It's like a little billet retainer that makes it a little bit stronger. So that is pretty much the performance upgrades on this car. I have spent more on it because I did get it registered, so I had to make it roadworthy. Did all the brake pads. I put a new master cylinder in it. Replaced the clutch. The clutch plate was actually in backwards, so that was a bit of an issue. The diff, I did replace the diff. I didn't put that in the budget because it was shagged. I've got some videos of it. The pins that hold the carrier or the spool or whatever you call it, they were absolutely flogged out, so I did put another diff in it. It's got lowered springs. I've concocted them and cut them and flipped them and ginned around with them, so it's really soft in the rear. I do have that toolbox to bolt on the back if I need weight over the rear wheels. Got a few weightlifting plates in there and a jack and yeah, some heavy stuff. But I put a set of shocks on it during the week, the rear shocks, just standard replacement Falcon ones. But I did take the bump stops out, and I made a little bracket to lift the top shock mount, so it gave it about 1.5 inches more travel. Yeah, heap of fun to drive, and yeah, if there's any other challenges or something that come up, I'd love to be a part of it, because it was nothing but fun the whole time. And once again, thanks to Scotty, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. So.